What is the crack? Good morning. How the hell are you? Mary Crimbo. Mary Crimbo. I got a question from one of the lads on the team of the podcast. You're saying, man, the video you done today was brilliant. What's your thoughts around the complexities of families coming up to Christmas, the hurt and the trauma and the pain, and when they bring it all together, people are carrying baggage and they bring it to the table at Christmas, excuse the pun. And I was like, that's a belter. First and foremost, I'm not an expert on all this. It's only through my eyes that I have an opinion, and all the reading I've done and all the work I've done around my own trauma in life. So it kind of gives me a helicopter view sometimes of things. I've developed the skills to step out of the veil of thought and be able to see things in my own life for what they really are, or for my perception of what they really are. And then I can try to give that back to people, and maybe they can apply it to their own life and help them understand the difficulties they are. Because I believe the feelings are similar, but the stories are different. Debbie Collins actually said that to me on a weekend. We all have the same kind of feelings, but they're just different stories. So your story is way different to mine, but something in my story might be able to support you. So my thing around it is, family dynamics is really, really difficult, and parents get the brunt of it. You should have this and you should have that, you should have loved me more, you should have fucking did this and you should have done that, and oh, why did you do this? And and as I talk about in another video, it's so fucking difficult, the trauma, we forget that our parents had a history themselves. We forgot that our grandparents and all this generational pain has landed on our parents, right? And we hold them responsible for all the things that has happened to us in our life, and we forget that they had a life, or the things that happened to them has influenced their decision making. So, it's a mother and she's holding a family together, or it's a father and he's holding family together. Like, sometimes as kids we blame the parents for the mistakes that they make. Oh, you ran me dad away, or you ran me ma away, or you did this and you did that. And and it's fucking really difficult for parents. It's difficult for the kids. It's difficult for everyone. But we're all coming at it from our own hurt sense, our own feeling of unloved, and we're projecting our anger, we're blaming, blame, because we don't want to turn in, we don't want to look inside ourselves to sort the problem. The term family puts a lot of pressure on people. We have to love, we have to understand, we have to respect, we have to be kind, blah 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 blah. But how can you do all that when you don't feel that in your own heart? How can you bring together four siblings, a mother and a father at Christmas, when you all have this hurt? How do you work that out? How do you sort that out? And that's something that one of the lads was saying to me. How do you fix all that? My thing is, right, and it'll always be, it's very hard to do it together. You all have to go off and do your individual work, because sometimes we forget, even in a team in work or in a family, we forget about the individual person, right? Each person makes up the team, right? So you have broken players in the team is not going to be solidified and work optimally. But if we all went off and done our own work and turned in or looked after each person in the team, we'd have a more cohesive and better functioning team or family, right? And that's the thing. People need to go off. Well, for me, I had to go off and do my own work. I had to unpackage, unravel me, to get inside, to see my hurt. And when I became accepting of that, when I became okay and understanding of the hurt, and that don't blame other people, and understand the stuff that was done wasn't done to me personally, wasn't because I wasn't loved. Because realistically, your parents, your mom, your dad, they do love you. They just make bad decisions based on stuff that's happened to them. And that's how I developed. I unraveled me and understand the difficulties that I was having subconsciously, and then I was able to understand everybody else. And the thing as well, with families, we sometimes forget, and I was talking to me bro about this a couple of months ago. If you've I've just three boys in my family. If you have four sisters, four brothers, blah blah blah, you all have different parents, right? That's mad to think, right? So I was born 76, my older brother was born 72, my younger brother was born in I'll do the maths on this, 83. So we have had three different parents. You know, I've a 19-year-old and I have a 6-year-old. There's years in the difference. I'm a different person to the person I was when I had my young one in 2000 and to me in 2013. There's 14 years. I'm a totally different person. So sometimes in families we forget that also. We forget that we've different parents, so we're all seeing it from a different perspective. So when we come together as a family, we come together as siblings, we all see our man and dad different, right? The older one would have seen their man at a different stage and the dad at a different stage and the young. So even coming together as siblings to have the chats about the difficulties we're having, we don't see it, we don't understand each other's perspective. It's like putting a bowl of fruit on the table and asking all the siblings to draw a picture of what they see. Some will see a pear, some will see an apple, some will see grapes, blah blah. But it's still a bowl of fruit, it's still a parent, it's still a man, it's still a dad, but we all see it differently. And we sometimes fucking forget that when we come together and we want to discuss our hurt and trauma. But if we take away the bowl of fruit, if we take away the parents and just listen, tell me what happened to you, I'll tell you what happened to me, I'll tell you my perspective, you tell me yours, and I listen, you know, that's where we start developing roads to recovery. When we start unpackaging and listening rather than bringing our blame, our hurt, our unlove to the table. Oh, this happened to me, that happened to me. And that's okay because you want to express. You haven't been heard. You haven't expressed your feeling of unloved. And you have to express that emotion. You have to express that hurt. Because for me, over the years, I suppressed all. I pushed it down, don't want to talk about it, don't. Now I've brought that to awareness. I've expressed it. So it's easier for me. Like these things with family dynamics and family complexities, it's really complex. It's fucking unreal, right? When you're submerged in the sea of pain and thought and the complexity of it. But it's easy for me then because I've seen it and done the work and I rose above the veil of thought or stepped out of the veil of thought and I can see the simplicity. When you develop acceptance, when you develop understanding for yourself, things become less painful, things become less personable to you. Like stuff that happened that in my past, I have let that go. I'm not saying it was all brilliant, it's great, whatever. I understand it. I don't take it personal anymore. I don't react to it. It doesn't dictate my future. It doesn't change the way I do things. It doesn't change the way I operate. Because I have developed acceptance. I first develop awareness, then I develop acceptance, and I understand it, you know. And that is the key to you doing your work, is developing awareness, developing an understanding, developing a language, an understanding. You know, it's about doing the work on your own in service of your family. It's about you all going off and doing your work, and you can see that in families, right? One person has done their work and all, and then he brings it to the table or brings it to the family. Sometimes they can become the black sheep in the family, you know. Oh, look at you, you fucking thinking of everything, blah blah blah. It's that family hurt, still those triggers, you know. As Jack Cornfield says, if you want to see how enlightened you are, go spend a week with your family. And this time of the year is a prime example for that. You're off, you're living your best life, thing is great, you come back together, boom, triggers, old behaviours come flooding back. You're like, fuck, I thought I did me work, I thought I was fucking cured. Look at me now, we're back together. Me brother says this, me ma says that. Ah, fuck you, they're driving me nuts. You know, it's a difficult time, Christmas. It's an absolute difficult time. But I believe the key is around understanding for yourself, understanding for your family, compassion for yourself, compassion for your family, empathy, kindness, love, if you start giving all those things to yourself, if you start practicing these things through the work, through going and reading, through counseling, whatever mode of self-development you decide to go down, this will be in service of your family. This will be in benefit of your community. This will be in benefit of the world. When you start doing the work on yourself, when you turn in on you and start asking yourself different and difficult questions, you will be a better family member. You will be a better worker to your team. You will be a better human being. You will enjoy being you. You will have less pain and hurt, and you won't want to project it. You won't want to see other people hurt. You will see it when you say words to people. Like, I know when I go into my family or I say things when they trigger me, and I go, fuck, I'm at the hurt them there, or I'm at the annoying them there. Where before, I wouldn't have given a fuck. I would have just said it because I was angry. I was No, don't get me wrong. I grew up in a loving family. I just had perceptions of things in my mind because something happened. So I thought, oh, this is going on, that's wrong, da. Where if I look back, I know my mum and dad loved me, my brother loved me. I had love. I just didn't see it because I got hurt one time and I didn't allow it. So it was just a perception. So looking back, was that really happening? Was that? I don't know. But what I do know, I was angry and I was hurt and blah, blah, and I had to do the work. So really, looking back, we're not too sure what exactly happened for me anyway. But I know I had a perception of being hurt. So I know I was just projecting on people. But when you develop that awareness, you develop that insight, that is the key to healing yourself and doing the work. So that's what I would say. Start to turn up on yourself and do the work in service of your family, in service of your community. Because when you start practicing empathy, understanding, compassion and love and kindness for yourself, it just becomes so easy to give that back to your family or your team or your work. I know I operate in a better place now because I've been kinder to myself, and then I just find it easier to give back to other people. Hopefully that's of service to you. So mind your little self and have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye bye.